All right, let's go ahead and get started here today. Thank you for attending our press event today. My name is Gordon Goff. I'm Executive Vice President of the Ohio Council of Retail Merchants. Today I'm joined by Jeff Rexhausen of UC, John Marshall, owner of Grismer Tire, and Jack Seibert, owner of Jack Seibert Goldsmith and Jeweler. This issue is paramount to Ohio's economy. We are here to announce the release of a study commissioned by the Council's research arm focused on Ohio's future from the University of Cincinnati that shows Ohio is losing jobs and revenue because of an online sales tax loophole in federal law. The loophole allows online-only retailers to avoid collecting sales tax at the point of the sale by brick-and-mortar stores like the small businesses that are here today do every day. The small businesses that are here with me today are just a couple examples of the thousands of brick-and-mortar stores that suffer because of this tax loophole. They know this issue very well, but this study will quantify the huge impact the loophole has on the entire state. At this time, I will introduce Jeff Rexhausen, who is the Associate Director of Research with the University of Cincinnati's Economics Center, and have Jeff talk about the study. Jeff?
Online shopping represents an important change to our economy. The internet gives consumers new options in shopping for goods and services, and a new term has been coined for this field of business activity, e-commerce. Like most innovations, this presents challenges for state regulatory efforts. The biggest challenge is collecting the sales and use tax owed by consumers for their online purchases. The growth of e-commerce has led to this issue receiving increasing attention recently. Now, the research that we did was on behalf of Focus on Ohio's Future to examine the impact of e-commerce on Ohio's economy. Our research builds on a decade of research at the University of Tennessee under the direction of Bill Fox, as well as other researchers, notably Richard Parker at San Diego State University and University of Chicago economist Austin Goolsbee. We arrived at 4 principal findings. First, Ohio online consumers often avoid Ohio sales and use tax obligations. There is evidence from the State Department of Taxation's figures that about 1% of households report any sales and use tax obligation on their income tax returns, and although it's not a perfect comparison, this contrasts greatly with the fact that about 60% of households report that they do online shopping. So this collection gap will result in a tax revenue shortfall within Ohio of more than $200 million this year, and a total of more than $1.1 billion for the 6-year period of 2007 through 2012. And this will likely continue to increase over time. Our second finding is that where e-commerce occurs in order to avoid paying sales tax, it has a negative effect on store-based retail sellers or store retailers. And this loss of business for store retailers is estimated at more than $600 million in lost business in Ohio this year. Third, if all sales taxes were collected at point of sale, store retailers in Ohio could expect to recapture, as a result of additional business, 11,000 direct retail jobs and up to 15,000 total jobs from the spending and respending that would circulate from store retailers through Ohio's economy. Our final finding is that this loss of business for store retailers like Grismer Tire or Jack Seibert's jewelry store, or others who may be forced out of business or perhaps never even open their business, together implies a decrease in total commercial rents of $10 million annually, which represents decreases in commercial property values of about $120 million. And of course, those decreases in values also represent then reductions in property tax revenue for communities and school districts. So, in summary, our findings indicate that applying a more efficient tax collection method, like the one that is used for store purchases, would provide substantial revenue to the state without raising tax rates. And I think overall, I would say that these are very, very significant findings, given the difficult economic circumstances affecting Ohio's retail businesses and its state and local governments. Finding a way to bring fairness to the online sales tax process would be a huge economic boon to the state.